Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? ArnieCAP here. I've got a question for you. Have you ever pondered the difference between what you are, who you are, and why you are? Now, let me explain this and explain to you. I call this CCQ, which is Creational Contribution Quotient. Basically, all that means is, how do you measure the value you bring to other people? Now, in today's world, we've got online reviews and things like that, and I believe that that is a very, very important part about how the community says, this is what I think about this organization or this group of people and how they served me. But at your level, at the individual level, as a personal brand, as it were, have you ever thought about what your personal value proposition is to the others around you, your customers, your coworkers, your peers, your bosses, your family? How would they measure your contribution to their experiences here on this planet? Years ago, I was in one of my very first executive meetings. This was back when I was at David's Bridal. And the question came up, which was, how are we going to position ourselves in the market? How are we going to differentiate ourselves? And of course, the marketing team was saying, well, it's going to be our promotion. And the merchants were saying, no, it's going to be our assortment. And the real estate guys were saying, no, it's going to be our locations. And the finance guys were saying, no, it's going to be the way we manage expenses, right? And then the president of the company got up and said, I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to establish ourselves in the marketplace. We're going to serve the underserved. And everybody in the room was like, what does that mean? And basically, Bob said, there is a community of consumers out there that are horrifically underserved in the brick and mortar space of our industry, which was the bridal industry at the time. He said, I want to figure out how to make those people feel served. I want to serve the underserved. Recently, I was doing a workshop. I've been doing workshops around the country, around the company lately, and I've been asking the people in the workshop to do an introduction of themselves. But I didn't want to do the typical introduction, and I would like you to do this exercise with me online. Take out a piece of paper and write down your name. This is who you are, okay? And then I want you to come up with, if there was a Google score on you, a Google rating or an online review rating of you, what would that number be? Scale of 1 to 10. What do you think the people around you, your community, the people you serve, your family, your coworkers, your customers, your bosses, right? The people that you're in contact with, how would they rate you on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of the value that you add to their life and serving them? So what's that score? The next thing I want you to do is write down a positive review of yourself as if someone else wrote it. So Arnie, blah, 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 right? Write it in the third person. Then I want you to write a negative review. A negative review. So in other words, if you were on the internet and you were reading reviews about yourself that the people that you're in contact with, the people that you interact with day in and day out, that they're writing about you, what would a negative review be? And then come up with a statement that best describes the value that you add to others. So in other words, I want you to come up with your served the underserved statement. How would you, in 3 to 7 words, say, this is why I am. This is how others experience me. This is what I do to add value to someone else's creation, to someone else's experiences, so that they look to me to say, I get tremendous value out of the relationship that I have with you. I think you're going to find that to be an eye-opening experience and probably not as easy as you think it might be at first. I'm ArnieCAP, and that's what I was thinking.